Are you a Christian who's ever felt lonely before? Whether you're, a man of God or a woman of God, you're following Christ, you're following Jesus, and you're looking for someone, you're desiring to be with a partner, but you can't find them in church. You've been single for a while, you felt lonely. Well, I felt that way before, and let me confess, I've been feeling that way recently. Someone who's never been in a relationship before, but maybe God is calling you to be single, and it's better off for you to be single. Now, I don't know what God is calling you to do, but I came on here to ask a question. When Paul is talking about in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, the gift of singleness. Now, I'm talking to you because I'm not sure who has the gift of singleness. My question is, how do you know if you have it? Now, I'm not talking about a season where you're single, where God is calling you to be single. I'm talking about like the rest of your life, where someone who desires to only serve God and be alone and live for the Lord and doesn't desire marriage. Well, I'm just wondering who has that gift. Because for me, I get mixed feelings about it. There's times where I want to be with somebody, but there's times where I'm perfectly single. And coming from someone who's never been in a relationship, that's how I feel. Well, I want to read you in 1 Corinthians 7. Paul says, "To the unmarried and the widows, I say that it's good for them to remain single as I am. But if they cannot exercise self-control, they should marry. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion." So what I'm trying to say is that I think this is a rare gift. Most people I know don't get married. They find somebody. But I'm talking about someone who's, single, who's never had a spouse before, and who desires to only just serve God and live for the Lord and work hard on their own for his glory. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, how do you know if you have that gift of singleness? Because there's times where, I felt like I want to be with someone, but there's times where I don't, So, well, I'm not sure, because, like, it could go hand in hand. You may desire a relationship, and you've been single all your life, and maybe God will keep you single, or maybe, you don't desire a relationship, you want to be single, but God give you, a partner. So it really depends. I just want to hear you guys' thoughts below. God bless.